Keep it rolling, baby. Welcome to Classic Koach from July 2016. This is HED PE by HED PE. Jenny and Lauren go in on this record. First takes, hot takes. Get ready for a Classic Koach.
Roach Koach
Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the Roach Koach podcast, the journey into the new metal canon. I'm your host, Lauren Kozlowski. Across from me, my co-host, with me in this journey, Jenny Bloomer.
Hello.
And behind the boards, helping us with production, engineering, and all that fun stuff, Mr. Matt Nas. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Lauren.
And today we are diving in to the self-titled album from HED PE. But before we get into that, this is kind of something we don't normally do on the podcast, but I feel like we should talk a little new metal related news that's
I agree.
coming up. Now, granted, when this episode posts, this may be kind of old, but I think we should talk about it. The first is that our beloved Chino from the Deftones, I think we can say he's beloved, right?
Oh, yeah, I love him.
He recently was the first musician ever to perform inside a volcano. You did not know about this,
Matt, how did you not
man.
know?
I was sleeping.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shout. I didn't mean to
This
shout.
is actual new metal news then for Matt. This was at a festival in Iceland, and it was part of I believe they were not contest winners. They paid extra money at this festival, and they were lowered into this volcano with Chino, and he performed 3 songs. He did Change in the House of Flies, he did an unnamed Smiths cover, and I believe he did a Cure song. Yes. This is what I said, Chino.
Look, you know how I feel about Chino.
Yeah, sensual being.
Still the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you do that? What are you doing? What are you doing? This is not Dante's Peak. We do not need to be dealing with the fucking volcano.
Well, I mean, when here's the thing. If anyone's going to do it, I'd say, why not it be Chino? And I watched a 15-second Instagram clip of him performing inside the volcano doing Change in the House of Flies. Just him and an acoustic guitar. And, it sounded about what you would expect if someone was lowered into a volcano and performed a song on the acoustic guitar.
Yeah, how are the acoustics in the volcano?
You know what? Was okay. It could have been worse. It could have been better. Chino was a little flat. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it seems very cool. Like, you're in a volcano performing a song. That's great. But ultimately, it's fucking stupid. Right? That's a fucking stupid thing to do.
Well, if it was a volcano that was actively erupting all the time, sure. They said that the chances of it erupting were very, very, very low. It has apparently not erupted in thousands of years.
Wow.
And if it had erupted, first of all, it would have been a tragedy because we love Chino. But if it had erupted, what a way to go!
Yeah.
He was rocking out in a
fair.
volcano for some hardcore Deftones fans.
Sure.
That's some metalocalypse shit.
What
right there.
What is going through your mind when you're being lowered into a fucking volcano
To
with
listen
an
to
acoustic
Chino?
guitar?
As Chino.
If you're a person who's a big enough fan to get to the point that you're being like lowered into a fucking death chamber, then fine. But you know what? Whatever. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's still going.
He's still going. He set the record. Now, somebody's going to have to try to top that.
Well, who knows?
Justin Bieber gets shot into space or something like that. That's the next step, right? Opposite end.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Somebody will be lowered into the deep, deep sea.
The first concert performed in the Marianas Trench.
Yep.
Okay.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So truly, it's just all death clock stuff.
It's really, this is all death clock stuff. Yeah. That's, everything that's a joke eventually becomes a real thing. So.
You know what isn't a joke?
What isn't
and is a real thing?
What?
My dad keeps listening to our podcast.
Hi. What's your dad's name?
Jeff Bloomer.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi,
Thanks
Jeff.
so much for listening.
Hi, Dad. Thank you.
That's great.
He said it was kind of entertaining.
That's what we're going for.
If
Kind
you're-
of.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's so proud of me. Said it's kind of entertaining. I mean, I don't really like metal, or what do you call it? New metal, I guess. Then I said, thanks, Dad.
That's
So-
great.
Right on, Jeff.
That's great.
Jeff Bloomer,
Thanks, Jeff. Keep on listening.
you're the light of my life.
The other big new metal news is that Fred Durst posted 15 seconds of a new Limp Bizkit song on his Instagram.
That's true.
And I sent it to her, and she texted me back in all caps, "What?"
Yeah.
Because we've been waiting on this album for a couple years now.
We've been teased.
Yeah. It's called, the title that they've said it's going to be is Stampede of the Disco Elephants. They said it was done, gosh, at least 2 years ago, I want to say, when they were still signed to Cash Money. They released at least 4 songs ready to go with Lil Wayne. They did a Ministry cover, Thieves, I say, and they had a song called Endless Slaughter, which was all right. But then nothing, radio silence.
But
now we have 15 seconds of a song called, I believe, Bastard.
well, sure.
Yeah,
You know what? I hope it's good.
me too.
That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
I hope it's good. How high are my hopes? Not that high.
Well, you said you have not heard Gold Cobra, correct?
I have heard one song from Gold Cobra.
What song?
I don't know. Whichever one they released the video for that sounded like he was saying something really weird that he wasn't.
Oh, no, you're thinking of Ready to Go.
Oh.
Because that's the one, he's drinking, he's supposed to be, the line is, sitting here drinking some gin, but it sounds like I'm drinking some jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ready to Go.
Oh, okay. Well, Listen. Maybe I don't know as much about Limp Bizkit as I should.
This is true.
That's what we're learning.
But okay. So that's it in new metal news.
Yeah.
But certainly if you have some new metal news, definitely tweet at us at Roach Coach on Twitter. Or also check out our Tumblr, that's right, I created a Tumblr.
Good job.
roachcoachpodcast.tumblr.com.
And if anybody has a Limp Bizkit study guide, they could send me, because my love really just covers the first few albums.
Right.
And Wes.
And
just
Wes.
In general.
I literally will go to Wes's Wikipedia sometimes and just make sure that I'm on top of all the side projects. And if there's one I missed that I need to go back and check out again, I'm very tempted to go on eBay and just buy like the Big Dumb Face album and all those other side projects. And then I'm like, oh, hold on, I have a baby. But it happens.
Well, you have to make priorities in your
You
life.
do.
And tonight, our priority is a sweet baby called HED PE.
That's right. The first album from HED PE, Head Planet Earth. What year did this album come out?
97.
97.
1997.
And this was the first audible change. We were going to do the second HED PE album, and you texted me on Sunday or Monday, and you're like, no, we have to do the first one.
I listened to a couple tracks, and I just felt it in my heart that we needed to do the first album. And we'll get to the second album.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I went to a lot of trouble to get
You
us
did.
the,
You did. Yeah,
the
I want to.
version.
I want to talk about this right now. So I was at work and I was like, oh, HED PE, maybe we should do them. And I found this album, Broke, on Spotify. I started listening to it and I was like texting you like, oh my God, this album's insane. And about halfway through it, I realized that it was edited. And then I found that on every streaming service and download service is only the clean version. And I was like stunned. I was like, oh my God, I want to do this album, but I mean, the clean version, that's not real.
That's not real.
And then I told you, and then you did new metal jujitsu.
Yep.
And literally within what, 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
You had the explicit version in Dropbox.
Yep. I reached out. I sent out the vibes, by which I mean emails, to the few people that I was certain would have this, and within 5 minutes, Dropbox link.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, unnamed person.
Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Because the thing is that you can't download it in explicit version anywhere from any official site, and you can't. It's I believe an out of print CD, and even going on Amazon, you click around and it seems, oh, am I going to buy the explicit version? And then it's like a used copy from somebody, but it might actually still be the clean version. And all of the reviews on Amazon are like, it's the clean version. Just go hunt down the CD. A million of those. Like there's so many people who thought they were getting the explicit and got the clean version and are very upset.
Well, apparently that was the case when it was released as well. My friend Jeff, who was very into new metal, who I worked with at Record Time, told me that he went to Hot Hits to buy the album Hot Hits, an old CD place in Roseville, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Since closed, huge Juggalo place. But he went there to buy it, and he bought it, and it was the clean version, and he was pissed.
Oh, man. That's like I told you, that's like my greatest nightmare is buying the clean version of a CD.
Yeah,
A
true nightmare.
true nightmare. My greatest nightmare of all things. I mean, my greatest nightmare is still being late to math class. I have that one all the time because that actually happened to me. Anyway, we will talk about that album at some point.
Yes, but not now.
No. We are talking about the self-titled HED PE album from 1997, produced by T-Ray. Is that correct?
Probably.
I thought-
Please hold.
I'm sorry. I thought you had it up.
It's okay. I know. I believe in his.
I brought my computer last week and you were not thrilled about it, so I left it at home.
What do you mean I was not thrilled?
I opened it up and you said no.
Well, last week was just a big no for me in
Okay,
general.
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. T-Ray, probably right.
What I do know about this gentleman, if it's T-Ray, I want to say it's T-Ray, is that he's sort of like an alternative godfather of nu metal next to our buddy, the Angel, Ross Robinson. He produced the Judgment Night soundtrack. Yeah, thumbs up from Matt. He produced a Helmet album. He's done some production for Korn. He's done production for Azomatli. And he also did production on the Grammy-winning Santana Supernatural.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. It is T-Ray. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at this correctly. I didn't realize it was T-Ray.
You thought it was Trey?
Well, his name is Todd.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe I was
Fair
just
enough.
trying to look him up by his God-given name. All right? Todd Ray.
All right. So he did the production on this album. I guess we should just dive into this thing.
I guess so. Let's just dip our toes right in this HED PE pool.
And because we we changed direction so quickly this week. I mean, I kind of felt like you on those early episodes. I was deeply immersed in this album to a point where I went through so many different emotions of hate and love to come out where I am right now in regards to this album.
Oh boy, I can't wait because in general, I love it.
You love it?
Generally. This is an album called HED PE and a song called POS,
OS.
which stands for Profit User.
Oh, you're putting your hands up.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Right off the bat, I mean, I like the aggression, but at the same time, immediately it doesn't feel as focused as a lot of the other bands we've listened to.
Are you crazy? This has a very direct focus.
I don't know.
Okay,
This
here
is the
comes the
pop
problem.
shop. Okay.
Pause.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn that up, Matt.
Wow, they ran
Very singular focus.
Wow.
Mad at women.
Wow.
Yep, there we go. Here's a
Dude.
list of all the words that would make me hate something.
Yeah, I guess the thing for me also was I listened to this album on phones, earbuds, in my car, on my stereo at home. And generally I could not make out the lyrics.
Oh, I mean, I guess it's probably just the fact that I'm a woman. I have a real
And your radar
got a
is just
real
right
bug
there.
in my ear for words like cunt and hoe and bitch and slut. I'm just always hearing them. Here, this is my greatest struggle.
Uh-huh.
My greatest struggle with
Yeah.
this band. I like that song.
Okay.
I think that it doesn't let up. I think it's pissed. I think it's a strong opener. I also think it is like very misogynistic.
I would say so.
Yeah, I would say
so. Like they go through all of the words.
it is like somebody asked him to list off
Every
the
vile thing you could
worst,
say.
Yeah. What are the worst things you could say about a woman? And he was like, hold on, let me write these down and put them in alphabetical order and then shuffle them up and just scream them.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, and I was actually talking about this with Matt before we started. The production on this album, it feels like there was definitely a focus on the guitars and the bass and the, that technical thing, but I hate how the drums sound on this. In general, they sound small. They sound like, it sounds like he's got like this mega gear for the guitar, and then the drum is like a snare drum, a cymbal, a bass drum. Like and I feel like that kind of undermines it a little bit. And I definitely think, I mean, also, I can't not compare it to the second album that we spent so much time listening to, which definitely has a fuller, I think, better sound and a more streamlined, I think it has better hooks too on that album.
I guess okay, I don't want to get too much into the second album,
Sure.
but it does sound like the production is more slick. And the hooks are there, but I prefer this album strongly to the second
Really?
album. I really
Oh, wow.
do. It's worth mentioning that this album was released on Jive Records. It's also worth mentioning that a lot of these songs were re-recorded from their first EP, which was called Church of Realities. So yeah, this was released on Jive, and I think that it does eventually wear its like hip hop influences very, very
Yeah.
much on its sleeve.
Mhm.
They also lost a shitload of money when they made this album. So when Jive signed them, they were very much banking on the fact that rap metal was something that was catching on and making a lot of money. But yeah, they wound up having to get out of this record deal so deeply in debt that they couldn't sign to anybody for a very long
Oh,
time.
wow.
Yeah, and also it was like Jive and Def Jam. They also had the rights to ICP's album The Riddle Box, and so when they re-released it, they had like snippets of a lot of songs that were on this record that we're listening to, so that people would be like, "Oh, HED PE." So that's why if you think of HED PE and Juggalos, which I do,
Oh.
not interchangeably necessarily, but definitely in the same realm, that's probably a lot of the reason why.
Well, now something that my wife brought up listening to the show is that she said she generally doesn't know who anybody in any of the bands are, but we talk about them very casually.
Well, they're our friends.
They're our friends.
So-
We know Wes. We know Jonathan. So can we go over who is in HED PE, or at least on this album?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay? Well,
Yeah.
Jared.
Is it Jared or is it Jared?
It depends on at what point in time you are.
Okay.
Jared Gomez, he's the lead vocalist. The people who were also on this specific album, Mawk, M-A-W-K. Now, is that Mark or is that Mawk? Like, it's M-A-W-K. Is it Mark or is it, I don't know. They love to spell things in a funny way,
Sure.
which fills me with a rage that I cannot even fucking tell you. I just want to yell at them, but he plays bass. West Style is on guitars. Chizad is on guitars and vocals. That's the one that fucking kills me is Chizad. BC on drums and percussion. And DJ Product on turntables. DJ Product is a staple, but the only person, by the way, HED PE still touring, played the Machine Shop in Flint earlier this month. I believe it was June 2nd.
Yes.
Could be wrong. The only original member is Jared or Jared. It depends on what phase he's going through.
Okay.
But yeah, he's the only original member. And I have to tell you, this will come out as we listen, but this is a dude who has a very difficult time with control. What I'm guessing, based on a lot of interviews I read with him,
Yeah.
they ask about how the lyrics have evolved over time. Now, I'm going to tell you, we've heard his list of shitty words about women. It's going to get worse. So if you're somebody who hates listening to that, keep listening, but prepare yourself.
Yeah.
But since he has become super duper into conspiracy theories, most notably the 9/11 truther movement.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's gone through a lot. And so in a lot of interviews, people will ask him like how his lyrics have evolved over time and how does the band deal with like the change in contents and lyrics. And he's always very aggressive. And he says, nobody fucking tells me what to do. I write the lyrics and people write around me. So there is nobody from this original lineup in the band now, but except for Jared, who is very aggressive about how he gets to write the lyrics and change everything and nobody can tell him what to do. So
All right.
just want to let you know.
Okay. Well, let's dive in then to the second song, Ground. I actually like this. So this is, I think I texted you this earlier. This album has a lot of sound to it that sounds like a collision on Corn Avenue and Red Hot Chili Peppers, Parkway. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
There's you've got this hard, crunchy new metal, but then you've got this, sort of Anthony Kiedis-esque, rap scat going on. But like I said, listening to this so much that I have over the last couple of days, I've gone back and forth on loving, hating it. That one I'm all right with, but I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah?
I mean, okay, that specific song, it's not something that really stands out to me as a great song, but
Mhm.
it's definitely a new metal song, and I like it.
Okay. For sure.
So
Definitely fulfills what the genre requires.
And the other thing about this is the first, I would say, other than, okay, so Papa Roach, I didn't really listen to that in its entirety. This is the first new metal album I have listened to so far
Uh-huh.
that I have absolutely no trace of nostalgia for. So
Same.
never,
Absolutely. Yeah.
never listened to this as a kid,
No.
at all. So
I think that actually made it easier for me to listen to so much in the past couple of days is that I don't have any, oh, this again. It's still insanely new to me in that I've never listened.
I mean, I don't know. I like it. But yeah, that song to me, it was fine. Nothing about it really struck me as special or great, but I did like it.
Yeah. And it doesn't sound like the first song.
It doesn't sound like the first
This
song.
album, I definitely say right now, this album does not suffer from 12 or whatever songs with the same riff over and over again. These guys were like, no, I got a bunch of different wild ideas. I mean, I don't even want to skip ahead to track 12?
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We're going to go
All
on
right.
a journey together.
All right. Okay. So track 3, Serpent Boy. Right away, I saw that title and I said, now that is a different title for a new metal song.
Yep.
Is this a song about haters or is this a song about how our actual snake people overlords? This strikes me something that Jared would be into.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
Oh, okay.
I do want to warn you, Matt, it's going to take about a minute before we get into the realness of this song. But
yeah, this is a slow. This is what 5D3.
I do want to point out that there's a Cato. There's a Cato England reference in this song.
Oh wow! Well, that's timely.
It rhymes with Drano, Plato, Tomato, and Barbados.
Ah, Jared.
You know what though? He does better than most of these idiots.
He does. I have to say, there's definitely. I don't know if we've really been able to showcase it so far with these first 2 songs. Jared's got some flow.
He does.
They didn't release this one as a single. I think they made a huge mistake.
It's on the old Apple Music. If something's popular or like one of the featured songs, it has a star next to it. This song has a star.
Oh yeah,
This could have been in the Judgment Night soundtrack. Like it definitely has that.
Here's the thing. I have to say, for a song called Serpent Boy, it definitely has this sort of like thrashy, like slithery style to it.
that's good. It is like a serpent
It's
boy. And you know what?
Ooh.
It's pretty cool.
Oh man, this is pretty good. Oh yeah. I like it. Yeah, and I think the other thing that's appealing about, I'm just gonna call him Jared. I can't keep saying Jared. I feel weird. The thing that I like about him as a vocalist though is that he doesn't. There are some guys, and I think this is something we've talked about with our old friend Kobe Dick, is that those guys can be a little clunky and they don't have any flow a lot of the time, or it doesn't feel natural. It seems, well, you're gonna rap now. And this guy it seems very, almost like he could have been making up some of these words just to he could be freestyling a little bit. Thoughts, opinions, maybe? Yes, no?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that he actually can rap a little bit.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
When he's not being a total fucking dickhead about women,
Yeah.
really like these songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel weird about it because I just assumed that if I didn't have any nostalgia for a song, that it might not hit me in quite the same way. But I'm just like, you know what? I like this.
Right.
I have any attachment to it, but I do like it. And it's so this HED PE, the name of the band is supposed to be like had like higher education, and then PE, planet Earth. So coming into this, it's supposed to be this whole like enlightened approach
Okay.
to I don't know, to the planet. But they also, I do think it's worth mentioning, they call themselves G-Punk,
Okay.
which is G-Funk,
Right.
but just punk as well.
Okay. I mean, I think the music bears that out. It has a lot more funk to it than I think anybody we've listened to so far. I mean, even when you listen to the level of like funkiness in some of these tracks, and then you think about the end of Blind, or something like that, and it's, oh yeah, those guys are a little rigid in comparison to what they can actually do. Like I haven't listened to it in years, but when we get to Life is Peachy, they do a cover of Lowrider, and
no.
I'm curious. I haven't listened to it in years and years, but I'm curious on how that's going to sound after listening to the funk on this one. Matt, you have something?
I do, and it's only because I'm an asshole, Jenny.
No.
So the lyrics are: my flow's unclogged, your soul's like Drano, my logic tight like Plato, whoop ass like Cato. So I'm gonna say that's a Green Hornet reference.
Oh God. Why? I've been watching that 30 for 30 on OJ.
I've been watching.
I knew it.
So I totally forgot about that. So it's Green Hornet. Tell me more about this discolored bee.
Well, the Green Hornet was a cereal, and Bruce Lee was his sidekick, Cato. And Cato was the best part of the show because he actually could fight, and the Green Hornet could not fight at all.
Yeah.
All right. This is number 2. I've been mystified about. I need to research deep. But
just
I'm
send
glad
me
I
some
know
lyric
this.
sheets.
I know. I need to.
There should have been annotations on these lyrics, but that's what lyric website are you on today? What lyric website are you on?
This is the absolutely irrefutable ironclad source, azlyrics.com.
azlyrics.com. Thanks again, friends.
Here's how I check lyrics,
Okay.
everybody. I listen to them, and if I'm like, what the fuck did I just hear? I will go to the internet and I'll type in the name of the band and then the word lyrics.
Oh.
And then the first thing that comes up, I'll click on it. And if it sounds close enough, then I'm just like, cool. And I trust that if I say something that is wrong, one of you will figure it out, which is what we learned.
Well, there we go.
All right. Well, listen, I'm sorry for bringing up Kato Kalin.
It's okay.
I'm sorry for letting other areas of pop culture.
Honestly, wish it was a Cato Kalin.
I think that would have been a much.
You know what?
I mean, the timing is right. I mean, 97. The trial's what, 2 years old at that point?
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
We could probably safely assume Matt's right, but let's just leave a little feather, like one feather whistling in the wind, falling down. That maybe he meant Kato Kalin.
Oh,
just
man.
for me.
Whoop ass like Cato Kalin.
Whooping ass like Kato
You
Kalin.
don't know. He could be like really good at stuff. You could be great at kicking butt.
You know what? I like the idea that Kato Kalin was good at something.
Hey.
That's a good
All right. Let's lay off Kato Kalin and
right.
lean into the next song.
Firsty. I don't really care for this.
All right. I love this song. And I'm going to tell you a couple things.
Oh, please. Absolutely.
First time I heard it, I was jogging and I stopped because I heard an N and I was like, well, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Let's see how mad I should be.
Uh-huh.
And then I looked a little bit more into HED PE, and I am very thankful to say that Jared is indeed Afro-Brazilian.
Ooh.
So
Afro-Brazilian?
yes.
Oh, wow.
His mom is Brazilian. His dad is of Afro-Brazilian descent. So it was fine. And then I was like, all right, I can stop being mad about these uses of N. And then I was listening to the song again. I had to start it over because my rage had peaked. And I was just so glad that I didn't hear this when I was 13 or 14 years old, because this song was like written for me at that age.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. There's like a whole piece at the end. Like, you want me to be ethical? You want me to be moral? You want me to smile? You want me to be normal?
Oh, man.
If I had heard that, my ACT score would have dropped.
Your ACT
like a
score.
fucking anvil in an Acme cartoon. Just goodbye. This song, yeah, this really would have spoken to me, and it's good that I was kept away from it. I would have been strikingly rebellious. I would have at least one tribal tattoo somewhere in my body had I heard this song at age 13.
There we go.
But I like it.
There we go. That's Firsty. Tired of Sleep.
Okay.
TOS.
TOS.
This band loves putting things in parentheses.
They love spelling things weird and
Yeah.
putting things. Somebody in this band loves Invader Zim.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Zim.
Zim. I could Zim. Is it Zim?
It's Sim.
Thank
There we
you.
go. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
I remember driving, listening to this one this morning, and I was like, I'm into this one. And there's a line in this song about, I close my eyes and I'm fear about things that I'm not seeing. And I took it to be a FOMO thing, but what it actually sounds like is more like he's worried about the universe past our own that he is not seeing. Oh,
Yeah,
but
and
then,
then
but then he
well,
talks
see,
about sex.
No, this is the thing.
Uh-huh.
I feel like every so often he dips in and out of something that is approaching a thought. And then
Approaching a thought.
well, I mean a worthwhile.
Okay.
And then he's like, yeah, but I'll fuck that bitch though. Who cares? It's Jared, here we come. Fuck you. I'm gonna be in your pussy. Okay, Jared, just fucking relax. Go ahead and have a thought, bud. I don't know.
You wait, so your feeling is that he's over here trying to get deep, trying to think of things, but then he's, hold on, I got a stunt for my boys, and don't worry, girl, I'm a mash that pussy like baby aspirin, basically.
Wait,
right?
why did you say mash that pussy like baby?
Yeah, it's a
aspirin?
Ghostface lyric. I can't take credit for that.
Okay, listen, there's a lot in this world that I don't know, guys. Yeah, I think what happens is every time he approaches something that is like an actual thought or feeling, he immediately feels like he has to throw something in there about pussy and drugs and whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, probably to be doing whatever you just described with baby aspirin. But, okay, listening to this,
Yes.
I listened to it and I'm thinking about the bands that I have liked so far and the bands that I have not liked. And
Yes.
and the band that I think I most aggressively disliked was Papa Roach.
Absolutely.
And they have nary a sexist lyric.
No.
And the bands that I've liked the most, which so far would be Limp Bizkit and HED PE, have the most sexist, shitty. And as we go on, it's going to get fucking grim.
Mhm.
So prepare yourself. But I wonder if I have some sort of like deeply entrenched misogyny, like lurking around. I started to
Wait, are you
get,
talking about your like inherent self-loathing?
maybe I started to think about this today, and I like went into
Jeez.
this total spiral. I was
oh
just
my
like,
gosh.
the bands that I like the most are just this, like so aggressive and misogynistic. Am I deeply misogynistic? All my interests are stereotypically masculine. Oh god. And I just wanted to let everybody know that HED PE sent me into this. So thanks, Jared. Just thought I should share.
Okay.
Darky's next.
Oh, what's this song about?
It's
All right.
actually about his experience growing up as somebody of mixed race in a primarily white community.
Okay.
So
That's
I
legit.
can,
That's a legit subject and something that you can definitely relate to.
No, not at all.
No, okay. Yeah, this is some very Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I'm sure that what stood out to me on the songs, they said word to Aristotle. And I'm pretty sure he means the Aristotle I'm thinking of. Unless there's some like weird Spider-Man sidekick named Aristotle that I've mistaken it for. Which, I don't know. I think this song is good.
Okay. This okay.
No, I think this song is good, but he does say fitting to rape you.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Wow.
that to me.
That's
And then later
I would say even to me that's not great.
Oh, well, let's see if we're close to that.
Oh, there it is.
Are we close? Yeah, there it is. Great. Well, I mean, if we're in it right now, go ahead and just keep listening because we got some more grossness coming up here.
Well, is this a
There's some more drums for you. Yeah, he says if I drop the bomb, pick it up several times. But then he talks about like boning a girl, like a little sexy girl with no father figure. I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Of course.
Here we go. Do you get it? D-I-C-K spells relief. Dick.
Well, let me ask you this. Is this a situation where he is writing from the point of view of the people that gave him shit when he was young?
No.
No?
No. No, and I'm going to say no based on all of the other awful things he says throughout this album. And here is so we have a song like that that's written from a perspective that I personally cannot understand, but I totally respect. And I'm like, fuck yeah, write a song about that. That's a perspective that I would like to hear about. But I don't understand why anybody from any point of view who has been like oppressed or shit on is automatically, you know what? This is like a fucked up thing that I went through. But guess what else? I'm fitting to rape a woman. Nope. Nope. Whoop. We were almost there. We were almost there, Jared. You approached you approached a good thought, and then you just fucking jumped right off the cliff again. Not good.
Can we talk about the album art for a second?
Oh, yeah, we can.
So you sent me this album art and you asked me, what do I think it is? I recently got a giant monitor at work. Not to brag, it actually might be too big. And I threw it up on this giant monitor because I was looking at it on a normal size monitor. And I was like, I can't make heads or tails of this thing. So I blew it up on the biggest monitor in the building. And I still stared at it for a straight minute. And it was like, maybe there's a guy skateboarding over there? I'm not. I mean, and you, what did you say it is?
It is. Please hold. It is. It's an illustration of the music being played by HED PE, who are seen in the middle playing a concert while a barrage of music is exploding outwardly.
Man, you guys just, when you get a second, just Google it and look it up. But it
is exploding outwardly.
It is, but I'm just looking at it. It just looks like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it now and just like, what is this?
It's a barrage of music exploding outwardly.
But you can see like a guy skateboarding and there's some like hands with spray paint. And then is this, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I would say thus far of the albums we've and we haven't really talked about the album art too much for a lot of these albums. This is the worst album art so far.
No, it's not.
What is worse album art than this?
Papa Roach.
What?
It's a fucking roach.
It's
a
in
cockroach.
focus. It's in focus.
Doesn't matter. It's
I
not
look
art.
at it and I know what it is.
It's not art.
I know what it is.
I knew what this was.
You no way. No way. I call shenanigans. There's no way you knew what this was.
I inherently knew what that was. You don't even know if I could just be making that up.
Exactly. That's so you're saying that because each person brings their own experience to the cover of the first HED PE album. What is this to you? Who knows what it is?
At least somebody painted it.
It's
not
paint?
just like
this looks like a colored pencil drawing.
Who cares? Prismacolor pencils are expensive. Okay, it's much better than the pop. It's better than I would say. Also, okay, the Deftones album cover was a fucking nose sucky thing.
Yeah, but
whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's but I mean, once we looked at it for a second, you're like, okay, I know what this is.
I knew what it was, but I don't know why it was there. At least this has a reason. I will defend. Listen,
I don't know. Yeah,
I'm going to defend this album.
You're going to defend this album art. I think it's I'm looking at the wiki. I mean, I'll take your word for it, Wikipedia, but I don't know.
I believe it.
All right. Track 7 is
Spam.
Spam?
But it's spelled SCHPAMB.
As opposed to
SPAM. Unless
Oh, you're saying spam?
Spam.
Spam?
Is the next song on the record, I think. And I like this song. Now, if Spam is some sort of deep ass Green Lantern thing, please tell me, but I'm pretty sure it's just spam spelled weird. Also, it's great.
Oh yeah, I know why you like this one. Yeah.
What do you mean you know why I like this one?
This is a circle pit.
Right.
Get the circle pit going.
Straight up hardcore song, and I fucking love it. If I was listening, if it was like, oh hey, this is some deep ass Gorilla Biscuit B-side, I'd be like, this song is fucking awesome. The fact that it's HED PE makes me feel weird about liking it. Straight up hardcore song. It's great. And if you don't agree with me, I will fucking see you in the pit. I will be standing on the outside of it, but I will see you there.
Give me a nod.
Yep.
Okay.
I will push you away from me when you get too close.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't have a strong affection for
a lot of hardcore, so this doesn't really do much for me.
You're crazy.
Oh man, hands in the air.
So good. Forget it. If I had this CD when I was 14 years old, I wouldn't be sitting in this room right now.
From what I could tell, this CD would have corrupted you on a deep level.
I would be dead. I would be dead and fine with it. I'd be happily dead.
Okay. All right. Track 8, Ken 2012.
Now here's where things take a turn.
Now, you said that he eventually got into conspiracy theories, but it sounds to me, if you're calling it a song Ken 2012, I mean, 2012 is My Prophecy, correct?
He brings it up.
I know that comes up on another song, but I mean, isn't that what this is about as well?
You know what? I work with a guy named Ken.
Okay.
That's all I can think of when I see Ken. So,
All right.
but there's something else that happens later in this song.
Okay.
That,
Imagine if there were good drums on this song.
This thing might really have a chance. Because I like
Just-
everything else.
I don't know. This is all right.
Yeah.
So what is this about? What is this one?
Listen, I'm not sure. I'll rock your party till the motherfucking roof come in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on fire. Burn like that pussy in the morning. Had all night to simmer. Young girl wake up. The dick be in her already. I was
Oh.
fucking when she had her first Barbie. Easy bake oven. She was pissing in her panties. Ain't shit she can do that ain't been done. Ain't nothing wrong with you, girl. I ain't the one. Yeah, Jared, you're probably not the one if you're fucking a girl who was playing with Barbies when you were already boning. Also, you can't leave your dick in a woman to the point where she wakes up with it in you because that's called rape. Jared, you just wrote a song about straight up rape, even though you didn't say the word, although you did a few songs ago.
I mean, on top of all that, I mean, all of the child references are you know what? I have to say, this one kind of almost feels like throwing the gauntlet down at Korn, you know?
This is hands down the most fucked up song
We've listened
we've
to
listened to so far.
I would say so. Those lyrics right there are whew.
So
Wow. Also, I don't understand the line though. Was it keep that pussy burning like in the morning?
okay, so
As if that's a thing.
it is.
Really?
Yes, if somebody left their dick in you an entire night,
Okay.
it probably wouldn't feel great in the morning.
Okay.
I bet Jared has given his fair share of UTIs, and that's
Oh, it's a
what I
UTI
think.
reference?
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that was
man.
my guess. That was my guess. So I just want to say a couple things about this.
Oh, please.
One, first of all, fuck you. No. That's the first one. Fuck you so much. No. The other is that, and this is sad, but to keep it in context, this was in 1997, and I can tell you that at that time, the concept of, well, this sounds like it would be more of a date rape situation wasn't really talked about a whole lot.
Sure.
So at that time, if I recall correctly, pretty much the only thing that was considered rape was like if somebody jumped out of a bush and like just fucking jumped on you, which
Right,
isn't
right.
funny, but it's like a
Yeah.
horrible laugh.
Yeah, I don't know why you were like, somebody jumped out of a bush. I'm like, what a hilarious
Well, I
visual.
mean, it's
I don't
a
know
funny
why.
visual until the next part, which is
Next part,
eventual rape. And
Yeah.
then goes, ugh.
Yeah.
So this, I can see how it passed, but Jesus fucking Christ, that's horrible. But as I sent this to you, I was looking up, I just Googled, and if anybody is familiar with the internet, the way that you would look up if somebody in
Familiar with
HED
the
PE,
internet.
if you wanted to look up, and I want you to know that I work in tech, so I'm really
Okay.
good at this. If you Google HED PE and misogyny,
Oh, all right.
and you dig deep enough, you'll find, or just HED PE women is how I found this one. I found a Facebook post from March 8th of 2012, which is International Women's Day, and this is what HED PE said. And
You sent
you
me
can-
this. You sent me this with the
Yes.
following text of "I'm going to have a seizure."
that's
And at the
true.
time, I really didn't understand why you were going to have a seizure. But now it's because you listened to this and then you read this.
Oh yeah.
And now I understand it doesn't make any sense. But
I
yeah,
suppose
please.
I should have put it in
Yeah.
context. And I just want you to know that we know that this is Jared because he is the only
Only
person
yeah,
who
he's the only-
speaks for HED PE.
Yes.
So it says, Happy International Women's Day. As we can observe from magazines, television, movies, etc., females are programmed from a young age to aspire to be nothing more than eye candy. I mean, how many television shows are about intelligent, empowered females? Most programs, in quotations, are overtly steering women toward feeling like being pretty is the top priority. Well, the tide is changing, and you can see the pushback. We've been through 5,000 years of male-dominated society. Look at the Catholic Church, or even monks of Tibet. How many female monks are there? But the tide is shifting, and the balancing of male and female energies have begun. A small percentage of females are so programmed that they would find themselves defending the very people who would subjugate them. But thankfully, most women are empowering themselves and realizing how powerful they really are. More than just pretty faces. Hang in there, ladies. Your time has come. Use that power and only support those that support you. You are sovereign. God bless all mothers, sisters, daughters. We love you. And the comments on this are varied, but
Are varied. Some people are like, I'm not down with this, Jared.
well, some people are like, do you realize all the shit that you fucking wrote,
Oh,
man?
okay. All right.
And then other people have different opinions. Everybody has an opinion on the internet. But there were some that are very, very good. And I am trying to find them now. So let's see.
So while you said so basically, Jared at some point had his Beastie Boys epiphany, and instead of writing a sure shot, he just threw up a Facebook post.
Yeah.
Basically.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Absolutely.
I have another opinion. I think he believes that thing that he wrote,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't know how to write anything. Like I'm reading the lyrics to all of these songs, and I feel like he's like, I'm doing it. I'm fucking exposing the underbelly of male society, but he does not do a good job of bridging the gap, because the whole top end of all these lyrics with the worst misogynistic lyrics are, I got my eyes wide open. I'm seeing the world for what it is. And then he makes a turn, and I think the turn, now this is me really defending bullshit lyrics, and he's probably just a piece of shit. So
Okay.
I really don't care, but kind of,
Yeah.
I think he honestly is like, you're right, women, the whole time. This is a song called Ken 2012, which is already kind of weird. And like the top part of it again, he's saying things like, I got my eyes open, but society doesn't. And then you go to a party and this shit happens. But he doesn't bridge that gap very well. So you're left there being like, that's you, Jared, who's doing this. And I think he wants to point a finger, but he's not doing a good job.
I get that. I
Yeah,
understand.
I
that.
agree. And you know what, Matt? Some people agree with you. And I'm going to read you a couple of comments from this Facebook post that corroborate what you're saying. So here's one.
I will say
Yeah.
before you even read these,
Sure.
that it's not clear means he's doing a shitty job, period.
This is Zack Snyder and Sucker Punch all over again. That's exactly what this is.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought you were going to explain
Okay,
that.
basically Zack Snyder, he's the guy who directed Batman vs. Superman and The Man of Steel and 300. He made this movie called Sucker Punch, which was supposed to be about exposing how women are treated in genre films and sci-fi films and everything. And so it was supposed to be essentially his women empowerment movie. And the entire movie is about rape.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so you're just sitting there like, you blew it. You had it and you blew it. It's got some incredible action sequences, but the whole movie's about rape. So anyway, back to you.
Okay, great. Well, these are my two favorite comments on this Facebook post. And I do want to point out that the song that we listened to was released 1997. This Facebook post was in 2012. So I will give the dude room to grow. That's fine. But this is one of the comments that it made me so sad. That was the nicest thing I have ever heard anybody say about women. So truthful and beautifully written. You are a true hero for all women. That is sad. Person who I will not name, I was seriously thinking about sending you a message and being like, have you heard something nicer? If not, here are several pages of articles. And then my number one favorite album that I think sort of encapsulates, well, it doesn't encapsulate what you were saying, but it gets to a point. Can't motherfuckers flow about women for music entertainment? Number 4. purposes and still have love for women. Come on, shit. So that was my favorite one.
Okay, yeah, you texted me that, and I was like, "What is
Yeah.
this?" Let me just read it. Can't motherfuckers flow about women for music entertainment purposes and still have love for women? Come on, shit.
Yeah, the way it's my favorite comment, and I'm gonna
It's
go
your new
ahead.
mantra, right?
It's my new mantra. It is my new mantra, and we'll just go ahead and tweet that out because I want everybody to be able to see.
Oh, you want me to throw that up on the Roach Coach Twitter?
Just go ahead and
Okay,
just
sure.
go ahead and throw that up.
right.
Just vomit it onto the Roach Coach Twitter.
All right.
It's just I like this album so much, but this kind of shit is the most fucked up shit that we have listened to.
Agreed. It's bullshit.
All right. Well, what better time to take us to the circus,
The
which
Circus.
is the next song on this album. Another song that I like.
Oh, I think I like this one.
Time to pay.
Oh, this one's. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. I mean, the drums suck, but it's still pretty good.
Direction.
Surprise erection. Is that when you get a boner in math class? Is that what a surprise erection? Do you think that's what he's talking about?
I can't speak to that.
That nice.
So the question is the surprise erection. What?
Is that what he's talking about? The surprise erection when you get a boner in math class?
Or school? Yeah.
School.
Let's
Yeah.
go with it.
Sorry, I went to really specific with a specific class. So yes, in school.
I'll never let you live it down.
They know. They won't. People don't forget.
Super bad.
Super bad. That's right.
Yeah, I think we can just agree that wherever you get your surprise boner, Circus is a good song.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely also has. I like that siren sound. I feel like you can't go wrong with that.
I agree.
Has there ever been like a bad song to use the siren?
No, there's an Ice Pick song called "Onward to Victory," and it starts,
Ice Pick is a band.
Yeah, Ice Pick is a band, and it starts with the siren and then pit bulls barking. And Matt, I'm not sure if you'll be able to find it on Spotify, but Ice Pick is a hardcore band, and they're great.
What was the name of the song again? I'm sorry.
Onward to Victory. Let's see. And I agree though. The siren, if I hear a siren in a song, I am just on board.
Yeah, it's across the board. I mean, Sloan's got Money City Maniacs has the
That's
siren.
true. Yeah.
I feel like there are
KRS-One, Sound of the Police.
there you go. It's another
Not a
good
real
one.
siren,
I know
but-
you don't like them, but Slipknot, Pulse of the Maggots has a siren in it. Gets me hype.
Sure.
Oh man.
So a couple things I do want to say. One, in complete like anti-defense of Jared, there was an interview that he was doing about why he would still be touring with HED PE when he doesn't make money, and he says there are roofers and painters and shit who make the same amount as me, but I go to different cities and I can do whatever. Girls hear my lyrics and they feel like they know you. That's why I can sleep with girls everywhere I go.
I take back any defense I ever get.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just got back and forth with this.
Pretty Tree is the next song on this album.
Okay. Whoa. No, I'm pretty sure. Here's this one or the next one. This song is just long. I think that's all I remember about this song. It was a long song.
No, it's the next one that's long.
Is it? Okay.
They might both be long. The next one.
No, they're actually the exact same length. One's
Oh.
4 minutes and 8 seconds. The other one's 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So.
Well, Hill felt longer to me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And this is when the album, I mean, like, I was, musically kind of rolling with it despite my issues with the drums. But this is like the listening to my car and being like, I gotta just tough it out to make it through this song. I'm not into this one.
Me neither. And this is another one, like, after I recovered from another time when I was jogging listening to this album and I had to stop was when I heard the Leave My Dick in Her All Night thing.
Right.
This one, I didn't stop, but it's just like, oh, the bitch came to me, so I had to flip her around. You actually did. You could have just talked to her like a fucking person. But I don't know.
Let me ask you this. We talked about this in the past. Fred Durst boasts you don't believe him. Jared,
I believe his boast.
you believe Jared's boast?
They're not both. They're very specific statements of things that he's done. He's not, I blasted her ass. I put my dick in her and she woke up. guess how young she is. Here specifically is how young she was when I started fucking. Here's her social security number.
Oh,
Like
God.
he's
All
specific
right.
enough. And also
Yeah.
he probably does just, I can imagine him boning like these poor young women.
All right.
You know, he said he loved being at the machine shop, and I hope it's not because he boned a girl that was playing with Barbies when he was first fucking.
Well, I mean, the other thing to keep in mind, I mean, they're what, 10, 11 albums deep into their career at this point?
There are many albums, Steve.
Yeah. I mean, and like you said, he's all about 9/11 trutherism and apparently posting I love women Facebook posts as of 2012. So maybe, I mean, I watched a video of them perform at Hempfest 2013 on YouTube. And they didn't play, I think, anything from this album. They played one song from the second album. And then most everything else was more in a ska punk direction. So I think they may have largely abandoned a lot of this material.
Well, they definitely did because he's pretty sober now. He used to be high and drunk all the time, and then he gave that shit up for the most part.
But he did play Hempfest. So.
Yeah. So I think this was like probably after that. But he said a lot about all these fucking interviews I read. All this real estate in my brain. Yeah, he spoke a lot about how he doesn't feel like that's the way to live anymore.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty into conspiracy theories.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's come up yet on
I don't
this
think it
podcast,
has.
but I am.
Are you a 9/11 truther? Should we get into that right now?
No, I'm not a 9/11
Thank
truther.
God.
But I'm just into conspiracy theories.
Uh-huh.
But from what I understand, a lot of these dudes who are into conspiracy theories, they have a very similar attitude to our boy about women. Apparently there are like these very, from what I gather, maybe a little bit dippy people who come around, impressionable. Again, this like feeds into my idea that Jared's super into control, because generally people who are super into conspiracy theories, I believe, are into them because they want to seek some sense of control or understanding about events that are otherwise chaotic. So for example, 9/11, it's like a terrible thing. It's horrifying. So you want to feel like, oh yeah, someone's controlling this, someone's controlling that. So I think this feeds into my idea that he's like super into controlling things, but tend to surround themselves with people who are like pretty impressionable and not quite so critical. So these dudes that are like super into UFOs and like chariots of the gods, which he does bring up in a later song, it's like a lot of people who are like, oh my God, that's like totally right. And then apparently they're just like boning.
Well, I mean, the thing to also keep in mind is you said Jared is currently the only original member of HED PE still in HED PE.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's cycling through sidemen who don't agree with him for whatever reason.
Yeah, pretty much any account. And again, I don't know a whole ton, but from what I've read, every member that has left HED PE has done so of their own accord. There was one person that they split up with. It said we just couldn't have him here anymore. But other than that, pretty much everybody else has gone off on their own.
There you go. Well, and it also fits. I mean, think about it. What's his name from Blink-182?
Tom DeLonge.
Tom DeLonge, who just told some magazine that he had to quit Blink-182 because of UFOs. And
he has since refuted that, but he has said, he's like, I'm talking to Travis Barker every day. Also, am I working with the government? Yeah. So
I doubt he's talking to the government, and I'm definitely doubting he's talking to Travis every day.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's calling Travis's voicemail.
He's probably not talking to anybody on Capitol Hill, which leads us into the next song.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Hill.
Yeah, this one, I remember it started, and I was like, this is going to be a long road.
Yeah.
Long road.
It's not eerie enough to keep me.
Like, it seems like they're trying to go for like creepy. Like, I feel like the guitarist played this song while his head was brought low and tipped to the side, you know, and he had in some color context, maybe.
Oh, God.
You know,
I don't like the drums on this song.
I mean, honestly, how they're being played is fine. Just they sound bad. Yeah, this song is like an endurance match to get through.
Well,
Go ahead.
Here's the great tragedy of this song. Is I feel like it's actually about something, but at this point, he's lost me so much that I don't really fucking care. I'm like, I don't want to listen to your slow ass dumb song.
Right. And what's funny is you would think, well, I guess that means we're giving up on this album. But there's a track.
Mm-mm.
It's the next song.
Guess what? I thought I'd given up hope. I thought
I had given this up, and I texted you that I was not. I was like, this album's giving me so many insane back and forth. And it's because of this song, IFO.
Representative, the U.S. military announced that the debris was from
Oh, man. Weather balloon. That sounds like bullshit.
it is so good that I did not get this album the first time.
You
So-
would have. Oh my gosh, we'd be doing this podcast from like the basement of Rikers Island or something.
All right, so this song is like 100% about aliens.
And yet it also fucking rocks. This is the most rocking song I've ever heard about aliens.
Can't put a cover on the sky. Not wrong.
Think, why is this buried on this album?
Because the truth is buried. Let me tell you something that's going on.
Before you get to that,
Oh,
there is the fact that he covers all his bases on this. He mentions Stonehenge, Easter Island,
2012.
2012, the Mayans. You're gonna feel dumb when the Mayans happen and
Yeah.
the fucking UFO lands on your stupid ass head. I believe is a paraphrasing here, but I'm pretty sure that's the lyrics.
He says the mothership lands on your cynical ass.
There it is.
I love this song.
This is a good song.
Earlier, I sent Lauren a text message that says, "Can you guess what my favorite song on this album is?" And he responded, IFO, which is the name of the song, while I was listening to it.
Yes.
So I took a screen capture and sent it back to him. And it just showed me listening to it in his text message that said IFO.
Yeah. I'm going to say this is the best song on the album.
Wow.
Because it's, for one, unless there's something I missed on it, this thing is entirely about aliens. It has
It
nothing bad to
is.
say about women.
No.
No, because it's too busy talking about it. And it's so...
But you know what?
Okay. go
And
ahead.
this is the best point he has on the whole fucking album.
Yeah.
He says, the Peckerwoods can't stand the sight of the Africans. What are they going to do when they face off with a gray man? And that's like Independence Day.
That is Independence
He
Day.
basically wrote Independence Day.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what? Okay, so this does make me love him a little bit. Although the rest of the shit he says, I just can't get past. But you know what he doesn't bring up? Y2.
Was Y2K at this point?
97.
Were people talking about Y2K in 97? I feel like that was like a 99 thing. That's when people really started talking about it.
Maybe. But it just seems like he would have. Maybe.
I don't know.
I think that he was
So you're
choosing.
saying-
He was choosing his conspiracies carefully.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'd say this is the best song on the album.
It's
Um,
pretty good. And
Yeah. What would you prefer? What would you say is a better song on this album?
well, no, there are just songs that like
I guess Serpent Boy is up there too.
Serpent Boy's great, Spam, Circus. But I love IFO is my favorite. And I do want to say that this like really comes together nicely because when I was listening to this, there's an expo in Toronto that starts on Friday. It's called the Alien Cosmic Expo, and it's a bunch of people who have what they say is very compelling and irrefutable evidence
Absolutely.
of these sightings, and they have some mainstream journalists coming there on a panel,
Of course.
and they'll be trying to convince them. So I just wanted to bring that up. We'll see. This is going to air way after that. So if we know about aliens then, if Jared is correct, that's great. But
Is Jared going to be there?
no, of course not.
I mean,
he's,
I don't know.
He's too busy. He's too busy sleeping with women on tour.
Who relate to his man?
Oh, who?
I mean,
who's
who
gonna be
hit
sleeping
lyrics
with?
to IFO? Who's he gonna be sleeping?
Who's gonna be sleeping with? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the title of the next song, which is "Bitches."
Okay, before you start this song, so I saw that the last song was called "Bitches" and that
Uh-huh.
it was 12 minutes long. And at first I said, wouldn't it be crazy if it was like a 12-minute angry, insane rock screed about women who have wronged him? That was the first thing I saw before I even started to hit play. And then I hit play, and then I was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm in an ashram. I'm hanging out with some people doing yoga, and just feeling the vibe."
Don't let stretching stop you from hating women vehemently.
I'll admit, first time I listened to this song, I was like, whatever. Second time, definitely whatever. Today, I was like, all right. I was coming off the high of IFO.
Oh, God. Lauren, no.
But
This
how
is
bad are
like-
these lyrics? Because once again, like I said, I cannot understand any of the lyrics. Is this even about anything? I mean, like,
But I just don't care.
well, this strikes me as like as far removed from the type of music that you would like.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we've talked about this. I don't like it when bands that don't need to be getting jammy. This is like taking me into some weird incubus den that I don't want to be in.
Oh, never want to be in an incubus den.
This feels like an incubus den. But
I could see where you know. I mean, I honestly on the third listen, I did not mind this so much. This felt definitely putting it as the last track, smart sequencing move.
that's true.
You know, take you out on a chill vibe. You know, I
Whoa,
don't put you put
does
this,
it though?
well,
Does it take you out on a chill vibe?
okay, so when does the secret song start? It's there's three.
The greatest trick HED PE ever pulled was convincing you that there was no secret track on this song.
You have to go till there's 3 minutes and 20 seconds left of it, and then you hear what a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
And I told you I got really worried that I was gonna listen to them like chop up a body or something.
You said I was worried that they were going to saw a dude in half or
Yes,
something like
I was
that.
worried they were gonna saw a dude in half. Yeah,
And I told you not to worry.
it wouldn't be a dude.
It would not be a dude.
Can we fast forward to that part? Yeah, I literally think it's 3:25 or something like that is when it starts.
325 left in the
Yeah,
track.
3:25 left. Yeah,
Oh, here we go.
here we go.
This, Jesus Christ.
I was in my car. I was like very nervous. I was like, "What am I listening to? What's going on?" But is that actually like skateboarders or something? Maybe.
Probably. Uh-oh.
Well, you know what? Now I think about it, you know what that probably is? It is skateboarders. I bet you that's actually not a chainsaw or whatever. It's when they the wheels on a skateboard, and don't they do that? Buff them or something like that? Or you remember? Didn't you say that you used to lie to people that you could ride a skateboard?
I
Did
don't
you
know
ever do any
anything.
research about
Oh,
that?
I never
No?
even.
Oh,
we
no.
didn't have the internet.
Okay. All right, then I guess we'll never know. If you do know, please let us know at Roach Koach on Twitter.
Yeah, because we
Yes.
thought it was a saw.
We thought it was a buzzsaw, but now I don't think it is.
Tell us how we're wrong.
Tell us how we're wrong.
And so I'm sure you.
On the
guys
grand
did.
scheme of secret tracks that we've heard thus far, it sounds like he caught some feelings. That's what that seems like that song is about.
Yeah, he goes into stuff about strippers and I don't know. He is the worst. This secret track is called Tits, Clits, and Bong Hits. And
way.
oh, that's what it's called. And I'll tell you what, it's nice that he knows what a clit is.
Oh man.
That's what I thought. I was like, well, at least he knows what a clit is. That's nice, but I just
Oh.
can't. I just can't. Man,
So Jenny, you like this album, right?
some of it.
Let me position it to you because
Oh no.
do you want to put this album in the canon?
Man, I have been thinking about this so much for the past few days.
Yes.
I don't know if there's an asterisk big enough.
I mean, I feel like you've done some incredible asterisks in the past. But the asterisk for this one would literally be like,
Don't listen to the lyrics.
don't listen to the lyrics.
Do not Google lyrics.
I honestly, the only thing I would put in the canon from this album is IFO, because it's a new metal song about aliens, which I feel like we will never encounter for all the other albums that we listen to.
I doubt that you're right about that. There must be another new metal song about aliens. I am not aware of it.
if
I believe. Like, I believe.
if there is, it won't be as detailed and interesting as this one. You know what I mean? I don't think it's possible. Matt Nas, weigh in on this.
You weighing in this right now.
Whether it belongs in the canon or not.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how you feel about that.
Well,
Whether or not you think that they're could possibly be another nu metal song about aliens.
Doesn't System of a Down have songs about aliens?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. All their songs are about how they should free Charles Manson for some reason.
And Chinese food.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
I don't know because truly I don't know too many other nu metal.
I feel
albums?
like this is an outlier. You know what I mean? I feel like this is the one nu metal song about that. But I'm gonna leave this one to you.
You can't do that.
Yes, absolutely. You are the proponent for this. I mean, and also, I would say I wouldn't really put any of it in. I like IFO, but I don't think this album. I
You
think
really don't think so?
that this album should go into the
You
canon.
would have put Papa Roach.
Oh yeah.
I would put this album in 1,000 times before I would put in Papa Roach, because although I vehemently hate a lot of the lyrics on it, I think that this captures the spirit of the time and probably captures the beginning of the MRA movement, as nu metal, I believe, just does
So
in general.
you would say you would put it in less as a quality move and more as a cultural artifact?
Maybe.
I mean, we never truly defined like if this is all just good things or more things to consider in the history of the genre, correct?
I believe this is things to consider in the history of the genre.
Okay.
But
all right.
but things that when you hear them, you would say, yeah, it would have to call up that feeling of this is nu metal when you hear it. And this album, I think, does. For me, it does. I would put it in. I would put it in with my phone number and email address for any questions about.
I guess you know what, maybe we don't need asterisks so much in the canon as maybe little footnote blurbs sort of explaining, giving a little context. This might be because this one
can't be. First of all, I want to say this. You always default to me for the canon. This can't all be up to me.
Okay,
all right?
absolutely.
This is a joint
I agree.
effort.
Well,
and,
I mean,
and if
yeah.
this goes in, it certainly is something that requires an explanation, because there's a lot of shit in this album that is inexcusably horrible.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I just some of it so much that I just feel that it should go in as an artifact more than something that I endorse.
Okay. I feel like you've made a compelling argument to me for this album to be included in the canon. So I'm going to say okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, I mean, granted, we've kind of, I could see somebody now being like, you put in this album, you don't put in the self-titled Korn? For one, I'll think I got to give this album, not every song doesn't sound like the same song.
No, it doesn't, and that self-titled Korn album sucks. So there was that too.
It's got better drums than this one.
Look, I don't claim to be right or have any idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm just calling it like I see it. And I see the self-titled HED PE album as something that goes in the canon. Although, when asked if he felt like they started the nu metal movement, he said, "Next question." Well, I'll tell you what, Jared, you did.
Maybe that's why I didn't want to talk about it. So, people don't want to own up to it, I mean, look at Linkin Park. 2 albums, fucking owning nu metal. And then they were like, oh, let's make a U2 album.
Yeah. Don't listen to this album if you're under the age of 30.
Too late for everybody who just listened to all this.
Not everybody in this room, though. If you're 30, you are not mature enough and unimpressionable enough to listen to this album.
Oh, man. All right. Well, there we go. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think, but you've made a very compelling argument. I think you've elevated the canon.
Wow.
By pushing it to this idea of...
I'm so sorry that I did that.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize. And I guess that brings us to the end of the episode.
I guess it does.
That was HED PE's self-titled album in the canon. as a cultural artifact, which I look at as if there's ever a new metal museum, like a physical place, like that one will be behind the glass. Look, do not touch.
Yeah.
You know?
That'll be the one that nobody likes to think about when they walk past it.
It's the it's the
The Lincoln's chair.
yeah. They'll press a button and a hologram of you will come out and you'll go, "Hear me out."
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I hope that's my legacy.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Thanks so much, Matt, for engineering and helping us out
My pleasure.
with this one. A special shout out to Mark Rudolph, who did our new logo, which you can see when you're listening to the podcast. He did an incredible job. Jenny, he is your best friend. He's your best friend.
He's an angel just like Ross Robinson.
Oh, man. All these angels. Yeah, so we'll be back again soon. Please say hello to us on the Twitter at Roach Koach, and please, rate and review us on iTunes. That is helpful and fun.
Yeah.
And tell your friends about the podcast. I'll grovel a little bit.
Tell the people that you went to high school with who liked nu metal.
Yeah.
That you kind of haven't talked to in a while, but
Mhm.
might see at a reunion.
Yeah, tell them about it.
Tell your dads.
Definitely tell your dads. Call your dad right now. Tell him about this podcast. That'll be the best. All right, that brings us to the end. I am Lauren. Thanks again, Matt.
Hi, I'm Jen.
All
Bye.
right, bye-bye.
Bye.